I've been a winner at the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne 2014. Core strength in my personality is I love engaging with people, I love writing, I'm a very creative person, I love to write poetries, I love to write songs, and usually I incorporate that in my filmmaking. I believed in balancing time instead of life, because if you have your time in your own hands, your life gets balanced out easily. Trust me, Australia will embrace you with open arms, just for you being you. Hi, this is Dheepa Awtani, and this is my story. So I'm Dheepa Awtani. I have been in Australia, per se Melbourne, since the last 12 years of my life. I come from Mumbai. I am happily married. I've got 2 girls. Their name is Dilina and Diana Awtani. And yeah, I love being part of Australia.
When did you move to Australia and how?
Talking about moving to Australia, I think, as they say, destiny and fate do play their role very well, and I firmly believe in that, and I let God create my path. I was actually going to United States, Boston, for doing my executive MBA. As much as I mentioned, I love movies and Bollywood and anything related to cinema and creative writing. I think my life story also was pretty much influenced because God gave that touch. Instead of US, I ended up coming here. My mom thought I would rather want to start my life with the adventure called marriage. Well, I trusted my mom, and I do believe that she's always made right choices for me. Yeah, I ended up coming here in December 2011, practically 29th December, because that made me enjoy my New Year's too and start a new life. But the way even though destiny does get planned out, I do know we still have the strings in our hand. And practically in Australia, if you are to come with the pathway of marriage, you are titled or given the entitlement of spouse visa. Now, I was pretty much ready with my transcripts and all the skills I needed to come with as a skilled migrant to any other country too. My predominant choice was not to come as a spouse visa, but to actually apply for skilled visa before my now husband Dixit gets his permanent residency. And that way I actually got my skilled visa and got better opportunities in this land of opportunities, as they say. And I must say the acceleration speed has been different. And that's how I came, and I started my journey in my career yet again, instead from Mumbai to Melbourne.
What was your first impression of Melbourne?
Coming from Mumbai is predominantly till date known as a 24/7 city. It's an organized chaos, which everybody loves it who relates to Mumbai. Coming to Melbourne, and nearly a decade ago, I felt I retired, I'll be honest. I'm just giving an honest review. It is a multicultural city, but for me, when I landed, I felt a vacuum. Maybe I was homesick. Maybe I was, wanting to, still feel the organized chaos coming from Mumbai, where we are on the go 24/7. But as you say, as you accept and absorb your environment, you start loving it more. And I have no regrets about moving to Melbourne at all. There's always love, friendly atmosphere. Only the thing that you have to do is just go find your space where you feel loved and comfortable. And that's how the journey has started. And I think I would have felt the same if I would have gone to Boston, because Mumbai is Mumbai. So no complaints, Melbourne. But talking about Melbourne, as I started exploring Melbourne, it stands true to its personality label, which is multicultural. Be it food, be it people, be it education, or even be it the career opportunities. Absolutely, the way it embraces diversity and it highlights inclusion is a masterpiece in itself. And I have been very fortunate that I've always had the spice in the food I needed and the love from the people I needed. So Melbourne was my home when I came in, and I love being at my home.
What are your hobbies and passion?
As I mentioned, that I wear many hats. It's predominantly me trying to, embrace and highlight my different sides of personality. I'm a double postgraduate in filmmaking and business management, per se, in the accounting field. And I do take one part as my career, which is my education, but I also took filmmaking over from my hobby to passion to a project. So I keep making movies. I've been a winner at the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne 2014, and since then I started making short movies, and it's been listed at many other festivals. In terms of my passion, I would say one of my core strength in my personality is I love engaging with people. I love writing. I'm a very creative person. I love to write poetries. I love to write songs, and usually I incorporate that in my filmmaking. But apart from that, I believe every person needs to be acknowledged and respected for the time that they give you, whether it's a small acquaintance episode or gathering at a concert. And that's when I think I've used my capability of affability and engaging with people. And that's when I used to do a lot of emceeing back in India too, and celebrity management, and time came right when the entertainment industry was budding in Melbourne. I was at the right time, at the right spot, and I picked that up. So I do host a lot of events. So yeah.
How do you balance your time between full-time job, family, and your passion?
The way I balanced life, I believed in balancing time instead of life, because if you have your time in your own hands, your life gets balanced out easily. And the main time that goes here per se is in household chores, which are done by either of the members of the family. And I felt that if we have that time back in our life, we can progress earlier, and this can also be taken care, because this aspect of life can be outsourced. But our skill upgrade and our time back to the way we want to live our life can only be done in our hands. So practically, I literally outsource my household chores to somebody else, and I would say it's been nearly 10 years, be it cooking or be it my laundry or anything else. It's been taken care by somebody else, and I just focus on myself, and that really helps me create a good balance in life. I do not say that you have to have a household help every day. That's not the way of life here. Even twice a week, once a week, whatever helps, but it helps you create a balance in life and gives you your important time back, because once it's lost, it's lost.
What advice would you give to someone who has just moved to Australia?
The advice that I would want to give to somebody who's moving to Australia is to not forget that you're leaving home to build another home. So don't give up that journey of building your home, because you're on a mission, and it's not just you sacrificing your way of life. All your family, your beloved ones are also sacrificing in ways that they are pretty intangible. So do not give up on that mission. Easier said than done. At the same time, do not forget your roots. By that, I'm not saying that you got to be religious, you got to wear your own clothes. No, embrace your own identity the way you were raised. And trust me, Australia will embrace you with open arms just for you being you. So if you're actually true to yourself, the main thing that you have to balance in life, time, life, but more than that is your mental peace. And that will only comes when you're truly connected to your divine self, which is just looking after yourself, being happy with your family the way you were. If your goal is to earn dollars, I think change your goal from dollar to a very subjective one, is to have a home by this date or have a successful career being a this designation rather than having a package of 200,000. And I think that will help you upgrade your skills rather than trying to have money from different sources. You will, trust me, you'll succeed if you'll just love yourself for being yourself.
What do you miss most about India?
The most that I miss about India is its 24/7 loving nature of anybody. Like it depends. Maybe I come from Mumbai and it's a very different environment. But if I say India, I love the feel that you can get anything done at any time. The jugaad feeling that's there, of course. But if you feel like having idli dosa at 3 a.m. at night, or you feel like going for a late night drive or a 6 a.m. cutting chai, or for that matter, you want to go for an afternoon show, while something is planned at work or anything, there's always a solution for something where you don't feel that you've missed out a moment. So what I miss about India is, of course, being able to do what your heart says, because dil kabhi khatta nahi hota India mein, is what I feel. And of course, being connected to your family, there's a different touch and a dash of emotions when you're in India. वो तभी पता चलता है once you are away from home. So that lingering feeling and the vacuum of maybe having more sentimental episodes is what I would miss from India.
How do you keep your cultural roots alive in Australia?
While Australia is very multicultural, and I think we are absolutely privileged that there are, certified institutions that can help you do so. To give you a simple example, in my house, we only play anything that's on TV or songs which are Hindi. And I'm not saying we don't play English songs or any other songs. It is just because I feel only Hindi movies have that flair of emotion and different emotions which I want to introduce to my kids. And at the same time, we also have, Hanuman Chalisa and Shiv Chalisa playing. So these are few things where kids, of course, are introduced at school versus the Australian culture, the anthem, but it is my responsibility to teach the Indian national anthem to my child, because as much as it is part of her identity, she is part of my identity. So the way I try my best to do it, like I send my daughters to Victorian School of Language to learn Hindi. It's always you take your parents' learning for granted. But if it's a teacher or a guru translating that through, it instills better, and why not? So that's definitely a big opportunity. Apart from that, being culturally connected, every festival is celebrated in Australia with a beautiful smile, be it Onam, be it Garba, Navratris, or even Diwali or Dashera. You just have to put in that effort to find yourself and connect back to your roots. It is you who can make it happen, and how, that you have to decide.
Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, I think I am a person who keeps yes, I keep long-term goals, but I do keep short-term goals also. So I plan my life every 3 to 5 years is what I do. My life revolves around my family and my kids. So my predominant aim is, in the next 10 years to be next 5 years, to be a better version of a mother than I am. We're talking about, family, to support my husband and my family's career aspirations, because that's what drives the whole foundation too. When it comes to me in the next 5 years, I want to be more, I wouldn't say financially independent, but per se I want to upgrade my skills. I aim to do PhD, which is what my main aim was 10 years ago, but I changed my plans. So definitely I see myself doing a PhD in a subject that will give better back to the society. Apart from that, I see myself being maybe a director of my own business. Which business is that going to be? That's in my third year of my life. In the next 3 years is what I've planned. So hopefully I do introduce my business, which the Melbourne or the Australian community loves a lot.
What is success as per you?
Success as per me is very enigmatic. It's a very beautiful abstract, I would say, which either can drive a person or can make a person as lethargic as that person would want. Why am I saying so is because if somebody accepts a certain level of experiences they've had in life, and they assume that's the pinnacle of success for them. For other person, they might look lethargic, but for them, they've felt the most successful in life. But if you're over ambitious and you keep planning your life every 3, 5, 10 years, your definition of success will change. Either you can be greedy or adventurous, both ways. So for me, success is very subjective to any person, but as long as you can feel that you've given back to the community through your family, because you're celebrating the success of reaching a particular point at some point, or you are basically replanning your success because you think you've done the best version but better is yet to come. So that's what I feel success is, pretty enigmatic and very subjective.
What is happiness?
I think happiness to me is absolutely divine. For me, I feel a person can be happy even, let's say, in a one-room studio, or can be not so happy in a lavish mansion. So for me, if you're connected to your divine self, and if you're true to yourself, and if your true self is basically a shopaholic person or a studious person, but you're true to yourself, you will always be happy. If you're surrounded by books or you're just in a small room, you'll always be happy. As long as you're connected to your divine self, it's a very treacherous path, not an easy one to find at all. But if you put that effort one step ahead every day, that's when you'll find true happiness.
How do you give back to the society?
I firmly believe in giving back to the society because the way I see life is there was a grain or a morsel that took birth so I could enjoy that delicious piece of meal, right? Somebody's done something for me to look after me and my health and my family. So I definitely believe in giving back. Long ago, I would say, I think about 5 to 7 years ago, I was a director of a not-for-profit foundation called Young Fighters Foundation. So we ran quite a few campaigns where we were basically, doing fundraising in developed countries and giving it back to the developing countries. So the Children's Hospital, where children were fighting with cancer. Especially, I think that came after having kids. You would want to be connected back and giving back to the kids. The way also I feel I give it back to the society is now that I have a family, which is my 2 girls, every year since she's born, on her birthday, we don't accept any gifts at all. Every parent or every child who's choosing to come to her party, we create a GoFundMe link or associate ourselves with a charity where whoever wants to come, they do not come with boxes, come with smiling faces and donate whatever you would like to that charity, and it goes straight to the charity. Because for me, I think if we can recycle happiness and promote somebody's health rather than recycling gift boxes in the community is more valuable. So we've been doing that. So of course, I've had 2 daughters, so we do that every year. What we also do is if we during Diwali and Christmas, the way they get connected because they exchange lollies and gifts, we either go to a hospital where we would, in the pediatric ward, we would give, let's say, Build-A-Bear teddy bear during Diwali with my children to other children. And they can see that that happiness and smile that comes across, they somehow feel connected to the community. And of course, time will come when they'll want to ask or they understand why are we doing this. But until we instill that from their young age, they will also not partake in that emotion of giving back to the society when they grow up. So these are the small things that I do, apart from, of course, supporting the mandirs or the temples or the association that I usually go to on our annual celebrations with some help, or doing seva and gurdwara every visit that I would do, even if it means cleaning my own plate rather than doing for the community if I'm not at the right time. So these are the small ways which I'm able to connect back. Hi, this is Dheepa Awtani and you're watching Good Day India.